I'm waiting to get the Facebook link. There we go. So I'm going to be sharing this link in our chat room, and then you can just share this with your friends, your family. You know how we always say that everybody deserves to know about this, right? But my chats are refusing to come up. Oh, there we go. There is the link. If you cannot follow that, you can go check out on my page. I'm just putting it in there now. I'll give you a minute for you to share it in your groups with your friends. You want your team to come into this training. And there we go. I'm just sharing it in our groups. Oh, sharing Glenn is still working. And I'm sure she's going to show up on Facebook as well, even though she's working. There we go. Right. I'm sharing it in all the different groups. I think I've missed one. I don't know which one or this one. Okay. So good evening, everybody. You know that this is our training, right? And in our training, it's interactive. It is a conversation. I get it. So we just want to talk. It's about building each other up, building our businesses. I just want to go into Facebook as well so that we can connect with our Facebook audience. There we go. We can connect with our Facebook audience. Let me silence that. All right, so actually I need a stand. I need a fancy online thing like Bulani has and get that set up going. All right, so thank you so much for joining. Those who are on Facebook, welcome. Please just type in. Okay, please just type in there so that I can see you and acknowledge you. I see that you're on, but I don't know who's on. I don't know why Facebook is giving me this message. I don't know what it means. Okay, all right, I don't know. Okay, I think I want to go out and go in again. There we go. Okay. Amen. It's taking me to the wrong video. Oh, that one is the post. Awesomeness. Okay, got it right. Thank you so much. Today I am joined by two. I just got a call from Vivian. Unfortunately, she can't join us. She had to rush home, and she had actually said, I'm coming on. Then she phones me just now and says, Maggie, I can't. So we understand. I'm sure when she's done, she will come on either on here or on Facebook. But today we've got Naftaly all the way from Bloom, and we've got Carol all the way from Pretoria. Right. So thank you so much for joining. Remember, it is team training. Ne? We've always said that we are not experts in this area. When we come into this space, we are here to talk, especially today. It's just to talk about our business, to talk about what we've been doing and what's working, what's not working. And we've got everybody in here has got some sort of an experience that they've gone through, something about their business that has happened or not happened, you know. So all of us in here can share something. We can ask questions. Nobody is muted. If you don't want to speak out, you can put it in the chat. The same on Facebook. We are watching. Good evening, Blessing. Wow, good to see you. It's been so long. I haven't spoken to Blessing for a long time. Welcome, Blessing. Thank you for joining us. And so it's really about that. We know that we launched a challenge 2 weeks ago. It's 14 days today. It's day 14 of our 30-day challenge. For those who were not part of it, who were not there when we launched the challenge, there's powerful training that happened that we did about 2 weeks ago that we launched out what we call our Power Hour. For those who just want a quick squeeze, I think it's only, let me just give you a minute or two. Where is that? Of the summary of this Power Hour. So you're not completely lost when we start talking about this challenge. Ne? So just to give you in and just to whet your appetite so that you can actually go back and say, I want to see what they're actually talking about, you know? So we launched a challenge last 2 weeks ago. And the reason behind this is that we found that a lot of people are in the network marketing space, the MLM space, and they're not making it. Not because they don't want to, but they just don't know what to do, right? So your days are not productive. You're not adding value to your business. Some people are really busy, but busy with what? With things that are not adding value to their business. So we're saying that in our days are not productive is because we don't know what to do. So we don't have the good business building habits and behaviors in place, or we waste time in unimportant things. So the Power Hour was meant to really bring us in for an hour and just focus and just put your time into, I want to do something that adds value to my business. So we introduced what we call the daily method of operation in 60 minutes. And the reason we did 60 minutes as well is that sometimes people are busy. I mean, I'm full-time employed. Naftaly is full-time employed. So is ours, Carol, right? But we want to do this business. We need this side hustle and we need it to work. So how do we come in and out of this business and still have an impact and still see growth and still feel like we are doing something that is adding value to our business? So we said there is 4 focus activities that we are going to focus on in these 16 minutes. In these 60 minutes. And what is nice about it is that once you know what to do, you're thinking, oh, you know what? I can do this. So the idea is to make everybody who is in multi-level marketing realize that it is not supposed to be complicated. It is supposed to be doable. So we show some money-making activities. Hey, I wouldn't have said, I've got my mouse, ne? And this mouse, ooh, I don't know. Oh my Lord. Now the mouse is hiding my arrows. Okay. All right. There, mouse sorted. So, oh, not so much sorted. Okay, there we go. So we said we are going to break down our hour into 15-minute sessions. People, this is just to take away the excuse from you not doing your business. If you're still not doing this, right, know that you are not going to be seeing results, but we'll talk about that just now. So 15 minutes is prospecting. 15 minutes is showing the opportunity, 15 minutes is follow up, and 15 minutes is building your online presence. Because what we realize is that a lot of people are online. So COVID has really helped us and made presenting our business and showing our business so much easier. So you want to be present online. You want people to come to your page. You want people to come and see what you're doing. So to do that, you have to invest some time into that. We spoke about what each of these activities mean when we did that training. So if you want to do that, please go into that training to see what is behind each of these 15 minutes in detail. What we're saying is that I get about an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So we are saying an hour a day builds a stronger payday. So if you want to build a strong payday, this is it. So we launched the revenue rocket in 15 minutes, 15. So in 15, you can get there. So that is just a thingy. So what we did was that what we said as well, and we spoke about this also last week when we were just going through how the challenge is going. Naftaly spoke about what he is doing to keep record, right? Basically, we said the basics is keep the date, activity, and time spent. Because you're going to check at the end of this month, you are going to reflect back and see that, I mean, at the end of this month, you would have spent at least 30 hours in your business, at least in those 30 days. So you can reflect back by looking in where you're keeping record to say, what have I achieved? And had I not implemented this, where would I be today? And which is part of what we're going to talk about today as well. So the challenge really was for us to do this Power Hour for 30 consecutive days. And today, no, we are not on day 17. I forgot to update my slide. We are on day 14. Okay. So we are going to stop sharing and talk about this power hour. So some people said, you know what, this is so productive. It's been helpful. I've been doing it. And for me, I think there's 2 days in the 14 days to confess that I just said, I'm going to sleep. But you know what that does? It means 2 days of being, I mean, I must say that during the day, I normally talk to people. So I do the showing of the business, I do the follow-ups, but the idea was to have at least an hour where it is all about, this is what I'm looking at. No distractions, nothing. So I have gotten 12 out of 14. No, I must do today. So it's 11 out of 14. Today is going to be 14. After this, I do it again. Right. So, so we had a chat, Abud, Naftaly, Carol, and myself, we talk about business, right? We talk about how do you grow this business. So Carol said something very interesting that said, you know what, we need to speak to people about what this power hour does. Carol, we want to talk about the effectiveness of this. Does it make a difference? You know, you told your story, right? You have been in our business, which is Longreach Bioscience, and you have been here for quite a while, and you're saying things were slow or a bit slow. What was happening in your business before we did the Power Hour Challenge?
Good evening, good evening. I'm Carol Mahaha. Hey, also Maggie, you know, it was difficult. You attend meetings, you follow, you read, you do all these things, but when you sit, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then you think, okay, how do I even begin to even approach a person? And then, you know, as I said to you that, you know, being in this business, you know, you fall in love with the opportunity. I got in, it was not bad. I don't want to lie. Me moving through a degree was very easy. I don't want to lie. You know, I even have a signing of a platinum VIP. So that is just how things were. But, you know, once the hype went down, I lost all my upliners. Like, maybe I must call myself an upliner now because all those people that were, they were on top of me. They're not doing the business anymore. And then I reached out to SD Vivian, and she said, no, you are in my team. And then she added me on the team. And I started seeing things, you know, I started, you know, understanding the business better. And then when you came with the power hour, and I was kind of like, wow, this really makes life easy because now I know what I need to do at what point. So I took those 15 minutes and I said, okay, 15 minutes, I prospect, 15 minutes, okay, show the opportunity, I follow up, and I build my online presence. And I've seen myself being on Facebook, I've been on the socials each and every day. You know when you go to that group of hours and then leader will post something and it will click something in your mind, and somebody just go there and say, okay, let me just do that thing, and you just post, and you know the energy and the fact that now I've got direction.
Yeah.
We spoke about the issue of spreadsheets, and me and you said, I'll stick to my notebook. So even now when we're talking here, I've got my notebook. I've got, you know, I follow up. I wrote my, you know, I've got my list of the people that I have to follow up. I've got the list of the people that I need to show the business, the ones that order the stock, when I need to do the deliveries. And it's making life very, very easy for me. I don't know. Wow. I don't even spend 2 hours or 3 hours without going to my socials. Like, I'm busy. I can't keep still, you know. The ideas that just come and I just post and I post, and that is just because of the power hour. So if you understand what to do at what point and to follow the people that, you know, are in the same industry with us, even if it's not the Longreach, it's the network business, you follow those people.
Yes.
You see how they engage, you know, all the challenges that they have, and we discuss all these things, and we support each other. That's what I love about the whole power. And you know, also even now, you see, I already have my money for my maintenance already.
Oh,
so
wow.
I still didn't have 3 deliveries that I must do on Thursday. So really, I'm there. because of the
Hold on,
power.
I can see that you are there, ne? I can see that you are so excited about this business. I want to take a step back because I think what you said so many things that are going to help somebody out there, okay? Because remember, part of our discussions here is to get people unstuck, somebody to see value in this power hour that you are now seeing value in. The first thing you said was that you started a business and things were going well because there was hype. When the hype died down, people moved away and you did not know what to do. Because then you just had to say long reach. And people said, I'm in. Now you never got to learn how to do the business.
Yes, definitely not.
So when it came to a point where, okay, now the hype has gone down, I've got this massive team, what are we doing?
I'm on my own. Yes, what do we do?
You're on your own. Because not only are people that you brought in looking at you, the people that you were looking at are gone.
Yes.
Right? So now you find yourself in that space and you're thinking, what am I going to do? So then you lose those platinum VIPs that you signed up. You are losing your team. So it goes back to that slide that I showed. Sometimes we are not productive because we don't know what to do. But I like what you did. You said then, I reached out to leader Vivian, SD Vivian. So speaking to people who are stuck, if you really, Carol said that she loved the platform. She loved the products. She wanted to do this. Now, when her team, her upline was not there, she wanted to move on. But what you need to realize in this business is that there is your upline's upline. Don't lose that. And guess what? I don't know if she even knew that Vivian was her upline's upline, because she just said, I reached out to Vivian. Why did you reach out to Vivian in particular? Why were you reaching out to Vivian?
I started, connecting the dots, from leader Happy, leader Brown, and I was kind of like, maybe let me just try my luck. And I said, I reached out to her and I put my story on the team. I said, no, but you're in my team. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. I said, don't worry, I'm gonna add you to the team that I have. And then she added me on that list. And since that day, things have never been the same.
So now she's in a team, she's in a community that is actively building the business. Now, in our team expansion group, she mentioned Leader Muzi. Let me see, he's probably online now. Oh yes, there he is. He's saying he's on Facebook. He's saying good morning to all the leadership. This is one guy who's very consistent, right? When you wake up in the morning, you are going to find a motivational post from him. Now, the question is, when you are thinking, what am I supposed to be doing for my business? One of the things that we do, we motivate people. People must see that we are actively doing something. So when Leader Muzi posts something, she has been not doing anything about it, but now consciously, she knows that I'm supposed to be building my online presence. Maybe she was struggling with content, but because of this renewed focus onto her business, when Leader Muzi posts, what does she do? She takes that and says, this has motivated me. It may motivate somebody who is watching me, who is following me. What that thing does is that when you refer anybody to your page, or when you invite anybody to be your friend, and they want to go and check, who is Carol? What is she all about? They better find something on that page. Now they are finding some motivation and they're thinking, wow, what an inspirational person. She is building her online presence. And that focus was brought back when the challenge came on and said, what are you doing about your business? Okay, so that's one thing that she mentioned. But I want to go on to something else that she shared with us, what this thing has done for her. Because one of the things that we do in this Power Hour is follow up. You spoke about somebody that is in your team, but had sort of had stopped building the business. Tell us more about that. What happened there when you brought the focus into your business through the Power Hour?
I started doing the follow-ups, and I started engaging my team members one by one and say, guys, we're building from scratch. You need to be part of this, the community that I'm in, because I'm seeing, or I'm looking at the business in a different way. So we did things wrong in the beginning, but now we're building from scratch. We understanding what this business is all about. And just that last week when I was doing my follow-up, she just said, I'm doing my maintenance. There she puts the money for the maintenance. She's even signing the partner sometime this week or next week. So I was feeling like, wow, at least I've done something right this time around. And this is because of the teachings that we're getting from all these trainings, even their power hour to say. You need to do your follow-ups. You cannot speak to a person and just forget about them. They not be ready today to join the business. That as long as you keep quiet as well, they're going to lose the interest. But the more you do your follow up, you even ask them, when can I check you again, and they will give you the date, and you check them on that date. You become consistent so that they understand it, that this business is for real, and you're taking this business serious.
That is so powerful, because in our power hour, 15 minutes is for follow up. We also spoke about this last week. I would Naftaly, remember when you started and you said, okay, I didn't have anybody to follow up. And then we remembered that we've got distributors that are now lying dormant, and we need to be bringing back into the business. And just by following up, when you are saying, I don't know what to do, and we are saying it's a money-making activity, from that follow-up, she got a maintenance. What does maintenance mean for us in this business? It means money.
It's money.
And that person said, I am bringing somebody else on board. What does that mean for Carol's business? She's got a growing team. Just by putting in an hour a day, it is going to boost your payday. So let's take away these excuses and make it easy for ourselves. And not only this, now Carol also knows, we always talk about duplication, and I'm thinking, oh, what am I going to duplicate? Now she knows what she's going to duplicate. The power hour. The power hour. So we are learning how to do the business in such a way that when anybody comes on, it is easy it's not cumbersome. We've got a lot of people that are working full time. And one of the reasons that we get rejections from the business is that I don't have time. All you need to say is that, do you have an hour? If I told you that you could build this business with an hour a day, would you do it? If they said yes, do you know what they should be doing in that hour? Now you know, because you're doing it as well. So I wouldn't have said, we spoke about this now. Now Carol's got this person who is now fired up and bringing somebody on board. What should we be doing with this new person on board? We're building from scratch, Pelle. We must do things differently. What should be happening now? Remember that we are all discussing this. If you've got questions, post the questions in there. If you want to add on to the conversation, if you want us to bring you on up so that you can speak about your experience. When Carol talk about follow-up and you say, you know what, I've got a follow-up story that I want to tell, please put your hand up. We'll bring you on. It's not just about us. It's really about encouraging ourselves and the communities out there and our teams to say, we've got something. We are putting together a system that's going to work for all of us. So I would Naftaly, we've got Carol's team is getting revived. Yes. Now, not only did she get one, she only got another level deep. What should we be doing now?
Right. Good evening, everyone, and happy Mandela Day. I hope we are doing our 67 minutes now. Those who forgot, because I know you forgot, it's not being announced these days. I don't know what changed. So Maggie, as it happens, whenever someone will go to a new working environment, there should be a process that must be followed to onboard the new member into a workplace. So we should be also looking into that in order to get this new distributor to get started effectively, because Remember, when you are looking for this distributor, it's not easy to get.
Yes.
It's like you are throwing a fish lane in the sea. You don't know which fish is gonna bite. So once it bites, you can't treat it anyhow. You have to put value into that, because remember, one distributor in this business means a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, one person, don't underestimate that one person can change your business dramatically. So you need to put more effort into actually nourishing this individual and discover the talent early. The sooner you discover the talent in this person, what is this person all about, or what is the strong point, and you will be able to utilize this person or support effectively once you discover also the weak point. If you know what this person is struggling on, then you can actually structure your support system in line with the person as an individual, than trying to address everyone together as the same. Remember, some have strong point in terms of presentations. Like myself, I can present with my eyes closed, but there's things that I can't, that Carol can do well, things that Bulani can do. She can speak about these terminologies of products and all that. So everyone that comes on board, we should be spending more time. Give them that your time. As we said, we are sponsoring. We sponsor with our time so that this person can open up, and you can take as much info as possible from the beginning, so that you can actually, I can say, you can design your induction tool based on the person's status or condition, where they are. How quick do they want to achieve what? So, because if someone you spend time with, they will be able to tell you what is the main aim. Am I here just for products? Am I here to make money? How much are we looking at? Am I here to achieve my dream lifestyle? So that once you get that clear, then you are able to propel this individual into the right, I can say, hitting, if there's something like that. You see, when the aircraft you have to take off, there's certain volume or revolution that needs to be on the engines before they release that handbrake or whatever that they use to stop it. So it can't move until it reach that level of that revolution. So the same way with your distributor, once you know where does this person wants to go, and you are not yet moving, you are still stationary, but you understand exactly this person want to put food on the table. In 3 weeks' time, they need to have something on the table, because they took the last money that they had and started in this business. So then your pitching point will be relevant once you understand what this person is looking for.
Okay. So what I'm hearing now is that the Power Hour has ignited something in you. You are excited. Your business is going. You better have a plan, Carol. You said to them, we are building from scratch.
Yes.
So you better have a plan. And I would Naftaly saying the first thing you need is an onboarding of this individual. And the question is, in this onboarding, what are you doing? He says the first thing you need to understand is, why are they in this business? What do they want to achieve? Because what we are promising by somebody joining our team is that your dreams will be realized. So as a sponsor, now we are moving forward. Thank you, Carol, for actually showing your hand up and saying, I'm going to do this, because then you get more value into how do I go beyond, and to give you more into doing in your Power Hour as well. You even said that sometimes your Power Hour is now Power 2 hours, because you are just so excited, sometimes 3 hours. So now you're going to add to that, because now you've got this sponsor, and as you are going to be you've got this distributor who is reignited. You want to show them how they should be sponsoring. And you are going to do this by saying to them, they never got this from you. They're going to be so surprised, because now you're going to say, you're using new terminology. You are going to be saying, we are onboarding this person into our business. And you have a 3-way call, which is you, your distributor, and the person they're bringing onto the business. And we are saying together, now the new person understands now that, let's say Naftaly was the new person and I was your distributor. So now you have a call with me, the distributor who's brought on Naftaly. Now Naftaly understands that, okay, there is Maggie who is my sponsor, but now he also gets to know who the upline is. So should Maggie disappear out of the picture, he is not feeling lost because now he knows that, okay, there is Carol who I can reach out to. So you are going to be creating that relationship from the word go. Remember, we are building from scratch. We don't want them to end up with the same problem that you had, that you might not disappear, but you may have just reached your goals and you thinking, I'm moving on, and they want somebody to move on with. So you are already creating that relationship. Number two, when you have this three-way call, you are teaching your distributor what they are going to teach this new distributor. They are going to know that we need to be onboarding people. And the first thing we do in this onboarding is understanding what they want, because you are going to guide their activities in their business and set the right expectations through this. I wouldn't necessarily use a fancy word again. I wrote it down. He says you are going to have induction tools. Okay, let's talk about this. And he said, he'll explain what he meant there, but I heard induction tool because I wrote induction tool. And then he said, you will only know where they want to go by spending time with them. And I'm going to speak a bit more into what you do after that. So I can't remember what you said about the induction tool. No, it's Nkana?
Maggie, there's a saying, if you aim at nothing, you are always on target.
Okay, yes.
So it means someone need to have a specific thing that they want in life, because unless you know what you want, you will take whatever that comes. But if you know what you want, then you are selective. You say, no, I don't want this. I want that. So with that being said, is the tool that you are going to design is individual based.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not a generic tool that you'll use for everybody. For example, our why is different. Your why and mine is totally different. So based on my why, then I should be assisted or supported in line with my why. If I just want to use products, there's not much that really will be required from myself, because it's just gonna be personally me buying my own product. But if I say I want to replace my income in the next year, for example, then it means my activities need to be more serious and more consistent than someone who just want to use products. So it means I have to be showing more people the plan. So it means my power hour, I need to focus more on attracting as many people as I can. But if I just want to be healthy, I like the way products they are, financial wise, I'm already well. So it will not help you to show me always to say you can make 1 million if I already made some. You see, you understand me? So that is what I was referring to when I said each person we must have a way of handling that specific individual, the way so that they can succeed.
So it could be frustrating people in our business because we never understood why they joined the business in the first place.
Yes.
Right? Somebody could be a customer and they simply wanted to get the product at discounted price and stay preferred customer.
Yes.
But you are pushing this preferred customer every day, saying to them, you are not reaching your target. Where is your sign up? How many people have you signed up? So that is the first thing that you need to understand. And so when you've got this preferred customer, obviously as time goes, you can show them the benefits of being part of this, as you engage with them continuously. It's all really about continuous engagement so that you don't lose that with them. Right. So the first thing, Carol, is to understand their goals. Once you've got their goals, I want us to focus really on what you are doing with them. I really want you to leave here understanding how you are going to increase the chances of holding on to this person. But before we go there, I just want to ask people who are watching us and people who are, on Facebook and people who are in the Zoom, does anybody want to add in terms of what Carol shared as her experience in Power Hour. Anybody who is doing the Power Hour who also wants to share with us what they have experienced as a change in their business through the Power Hour. Please put your hand up, put it in the comments. If you're in Facebook, we'll read them out. We want to encourage people that it does make a difference to your business, right? Just putting in that extra effort. Carol has already seen the difference in number one, the reigniting of the team. Number two, what she said as well was that she is finding herself always present in her business. She is finding herself posting more than she was on social media, because now she understands the benefit of her being active on social media. So she's seen those two things, and she's going to see more results as she continues with this Power Hour. And she's feeling unstuck because every day she can actually put time in. So if anybody else wants to share that, they are more than welcome. So I keep checking to see who is saying what on Facebook. Anybody in here? Okay, I think by just a show of in the chats, you can just type in a 1 or something if you are busy with your Power Hour. I think, Carol, you didn't even start the first week with us, ne? You started in the second week. Or did you start immediately?
No, I started, I think 3 days after.
3 days after, okay. So is there anybody else who started, you don't have to be on day 14, who is doing their Power Hour? On Facebook, are you doing your Power Hour? In here, are you doing your Power Hour? Okay, you can just show us in the chat. Right, so now we're going to go on now. Once you have done this, Carol is bringing someone on. How do we keep this person on? So you're going to understand their goals. Now we want to set the goals out with Naftaly of somebody who is saying, so Carol asked this person, for example, and they say, Mina, I want to be a millionaire. I want to make $1 million.
Yes.
So how does Carol now guide this person? Remember, we are building from scratch. We want to do things differently. We want the right expectations. How does Carol now bring this down to what this business can do for this person who says, oh, Carol, it's obvious, I want to make $1 million.
Okay. Maggie, in principle, I have actually 4 things that I will get this person to understand.
Okay.
Our business is having 4 legs, or is having 4 pillars, that whoever want to make it and succeed, they need to understand that very well.
Mm-hmm.
The first pillar is you need to refer.
Mm-hmm.
You need to refer people into the business.
Mm-hmm.
Then once that is happening, it means you are going to be only not depending on your own effort, but you are building a team.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second skill that someone will need to have is to start selling. You start selling your products, because if they say all millionaires are selling, so it means you can't be expecting to be a millionaire, but you want to keep your mouth closed. You must be able to open your mouth and sell something. So that is the second thing. You are selling. And the third one, we are maintaining our business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are maintaining our business. And then we also, the last one, you upgrade. Remember, it doesn't matter. I don't know which level that person started. If they started at the top, then there's no need to upgrade, because they are already at the top level. But if they started with a Q Silver, then they need to upgrade their account also to get maximum level of earning in the business. Because if you're gonna stay at the lowest level, you're going to rob yourself of great money. So to reach that top level, at least the platinum level, so that you can be able to earn at your 12%. Because the more your team is going to start pumping PVs and you are earning at 8%, it means if you had to earn 8,000 from Long Reach, if you were a platinum member, you're supposed to have earned 12,000. So can you see now where it goes? If you had to earn now 800,000, for example, if you were platinum, you were already on 1.2 million. So you see, that is where the 4% difference. When you look at it small, it might not make a difference. But once you have more numbers, then you will lose a lot. Then you might reach your million later, because you were not at the highest level. Because I normally ask, if you were to decide your own increase, will you go for 8%? If there is 12, they put those numbers in the bucket and say, pick up one. Which one are you going to pick up? Are you going to pick up 8 if there is 12? Of course not. We all gonna go for 12. So why remain at the lower level? And the same thing, that if you want to get yourself to the top, also check the number of PVs that are required to get to your platinum or platinum VIP. Then you divide that by whatever you can afford. You look at it and say, okay, I need to get to a platinum VIP, and I'm currently just having, let's say I'm having 600 PVs on my own. So it means I need 1,080 PVs left to go to that level of platinum VIP. Then you need to divide that in a workable or in small parts, so that it can be manageable. How many months do you want to reach there? Then we divide. If you were to go in a month, you say let's take it with the 12 months. Let me say in 12 months time I need to be on that level. Then you divide that in 12 months. Then in that month, it means in a month I must buy so much products or PVs of products. Then you divide that 12 months also maybe in 4 weeks. You say, okay, in that month I have this one is bigger PVs, I cannot afford it at once. Then you break it down. Say, okay, let me break it down into weeks in a month. So it means if I had to buy maybe 400 PVs per month, then I need to take it down. Then it's gonna be, it means I have to get to 100 in a week, for example. So that is manageable segment. Then if you become consistent with that, then you will reach your target at the time that you have anticipated. Sometimes even faster than you have planned it, because the more you have something written down and you follow that plan, you actually find yourself getting closer to that as fast than when you did not have a plan at all.
Wow. Okay. All right. So through Maggie style, I'm going to try and recap what Naftaly said. No? And all right. So Carol, somebody comes to you and says you want to find out their goals now, and they say to you, Carol, I want to make $1 million. So your next question is, how long do you want to wait? By when do you want to have made this $1 million? And they say 12 months. Remember, the idea behind this is to set realistic goals, is to make people realize that you can, but it's going to take something from you to do this. This is in any business, right? So you say, okay, no, $1 million, well, definitely, you can do this. Now, let's talk about what's going to take for you to make this $1 million. That's when we're going to come down to now breaking it down. To say, okay, you started here. These are the PVs that you've got. If you are to make that, you better be earning at a maximum. The maximum for performance bonus is 12%. That is just one bonus. So you want to earn it at maximum, right? So now, and so you see the first thing, you want to be platinum VIP, because now we want to maximize your earnings in this business. Now, the second thing is that we also want to maximize the amount of bonuses that come through to you in this business. So there's the maintenance bonus, which means that you need to go into that pillar number 3 of maintain, right? Now, and then we're saying, all right, so now you get to be at a position where you could possibly get 12%, right? If you said, okay, I can do this, this is how much I must be at that level by this time, you break it down to all that. Now it says, but that 12%, how am I going to get it? You only get that because you are trying to show them how to unlock all the bonuses, right? Because they want to make $1 million. They are very hungry. Now you're saying, okay, that 12%, you only get it if you've got a team that is doing what you were doing, right? And they say, what do you mean? You need to refer people, because it's not only about your effort. You are bringing in the pillars. It's not only about your effort. You're going to unlock more bonuses and you are going to work less because there's somebody else doing the work as well, right? So now there is going to be that referral, which is that other pillar that Uncle Abu Naftaly was talking about. And then he says that now, because you want to maximize your earnings, you can get there without selling. But if you sell, you are going to get more money as well. So you told them about the selling as well. So just building a picture of how they can unlock the bonuses to reach their financial goals. Now, the next question would be, are you prepared to unlock these things? Are you prepared to invest your time and your effort into these pillars? Right? If they say yes, now they want to know, okay, I'm going to invest my time. What must I be doing? So let me just stop this. So you have set the tone that you can achieve that, but there's certain things that need to be done for you to achieve that. You can unlock certain bonuses, but something needs to be done. So they want to know, what do I do? I want to refer people, but what do I do? And the big question that you must always ask is that, how much time are you willing to put in for you to be able to earn $1 million in a month? I mean, in a year. Currently, they're probably putting in 8 hours every single day.
Yes.
But they're not making $1 million. So how much time are you willing to put in and invest so that you can unlock these things as per those 4 pillars? So what you're trying to highlight to them is that it ain't going to happen. So you want to set that expectation up front. Let there be no shockers, right? And then they say, no, I'm going to do this. They say, okay, I'm going to give you at least 1 hour. And if you put in more than this 1 hour, initially in your first business, I mean, we want people to put in as much time as they can. I mean, if you are not full-time employed, you should be spending 16 hours in this business a day, you know. And you are full-time employed, at least 10 hours a week in this business. At least 10 hours a week. So now if they're saying 10 hours a week, say, I'm going to give you what to do for the 7 hours of those week. And outside that, we have not even built in their own personal development. It's not part of the power hour, remember. Power hour is only about the money-making activities. So you want to show them what they need to be doing, understand the compensation plan, understand the products, understand this, and that's the time that they're going to spend in their own investment. But you want to leave them with a clear view that as part of your onboarding, I understand your goal, it is achievable if you do certain things. And then give them the things that they need to do. Power hour being one of the things that they need to do. Understanding that those 4 pillars unlock money in the business. If they are not interested in doing these 4 things, that is what is unlocking the money, then they are not going to make it. But what is in your interest is to make sure that they know what to do. When you say to them, they must refer people into the business, the next question is, okay, I want to do that. What must I do? What must I do? That's when you teach them about prospecting. You teach them about showing the business. So that training that we did, keep that training handy. Let it be part of your onboarding. Download that training, the power hour training, and say, this is what we are going to do in your hour. So as part of your onboarding, remember that just say to them, your first 6 months is training. If you want to make that 1 million, you have to invest time in training. The first training you are going to do is the power hour. The second training you are going to do is this. So define the trainings that they are going to do, especially in their first month. Pump them with training. And then they know what they need to do. I think that should give you enough to go with this person. And then, most importantly, keep connected. We lose people because we don't stay connected. Have a schedule of how you're going to run your business. You know, Vivian always says to us, show me the plan. Go and have your schedule. You are now building a team. If you are not organized in this business, you are not going to realize your results. If anybody wants to know, I mean, when I'm just blown away by Abu Naftaly's spreadsheet. Now, I've got a job that month end, every month I reconcile my you know, when I was following up Abu Naftaly, I find myself going back to I can now must follow up. I put notes next to the names that I shared the business with. Oh, okay, this would have been better on a spreadsheet. Oh, but anyway, so I will reconcile that later. So if you are not organized in this business, you don't manage your time properly, you don't manage your business activities, you don't record, you are going to lose track. What this thing has helped me with is that when I flip in my book, I was talking to somebody, he's probably watching here, Siviwe, that I spoke to a long time ago, and there's two people at NCP, and I looked at the person and said, oh, he was supposed to sign up. Oh my head. I said, oh, okay, it's that day. So what happened, so keeping track helps you with your business. And so please, please, please be organized, be professional in your business. We said treat it like a job. We're saying that because we tend to respect our jobs more than we respect our businesses. We show up for our jobs. Show up for your business as if it was a job. We show up for our jobs because we know that if you don't show up, you don't get paid. Somebody just shared with us what Power Hour has done for them. Thanks, Lucia. Lucia said, through the Power Hour, I managed to meet new language members, yes, whom I started giving trainings. Listen to that. Until now, also, after this training, I'm giving them trainings on the back office. Wow. How to balance your placement tree, the ranks. And this is beautiful. The Power Hour really, 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 guys, it's just 1 hour where you're saying, I want to focus on my business. It will reignite your love for the business, your passion for the business, remind you why you wanted to do this, and every single day. When I don't do it, I'm saying to myself, oh, Maggie, and you expect results. And you expect results. So you must do double of, must be 2 hours now. Really, 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 we want this thing to work. Okay. Is there anything else that you want to add, Carol? Want to ask with regards to the new person coming on, or are you good to go? Are you ready?
I'm ready. I just need to put my notes in order so that I can, so that I don't get confused. But I'm good.
Good. Yeah, and I think what I would Naftaly also say that is very powerful is that when you put together your onboarding program, there'll be things that are standards that you speak to your people about, like the first thing, that one of understanding why they're in this business. And one thing that I personally do, which is very important, is not only understanding why they're here, they need to write it down for themselves, And what I also like doing when I onboard people is allow them to tell their story in writing, because I want them, when they look back and when things are tough in this business, because there are times when you feel like, I don't want to do this. They must just read their story, because that's a story of hope. That's a story of why they did the business. And normally when they write their story, they will be telling you about what was my life before this, what drew them into this business, what was happening in their lives. And then how are they feeling about that? Really looking deep into why they don't like their current situation, what they hate about their life, what it is that is really distressful about this thing. Why do they need something to change? They write that down. And then they speak about the hope that they found in this business. So when Carol said, I thought, you know what, this can give me a better life. And then define what that better life is. Because you want them to be able to have something to read and say, and you can even say to them, when they are slowing down, just say, just go and read that story. Because the business has not, the platform has not changed. The bonuses have not changed. Let's work this thing and make it work. So part of my onboarding is that people must, as they tell you their goals, they must go and write them down. They must write down their story, because that is the story also that helps them. When you start prospecting and you want, now you want to start to show them the opportunity, and people like asking, have you made your million yet? And then they think, oh, I haven't, and and your story becomes a conversation starter as well. So when somebody starts saying, oh, you know what, your things are so tough, we were retrenched and or oh, I went to buy bread. I can't believe how much it's gone up. Now I know that now for extra large eggs, I must pay 70 rand. I was paying 55 rands a couple of months ago. When people start complaining about that, your story becomes a conversation starter. You start saying to people, you know what, I know exactly what you mean, because really a couple of months back, I was in that position where I thought, how do I get out of that? I am so glad that I have found something that has given me hope that I can achieve my results. Then they say to you, and what is that? And then you tell them about the opportunity. So when you know your story, it is the story that you continue to read. You know what? I remember this is where I was at, because you've written down your story. But I got introduced to this. It gave me hope. So you are also giving them a conversation starter. Make it clear to them that this is what's going to help you to start talking to people about your business. Okay. So hopefully, Carol, we want you to keep that person. So do the right things. You are building from scratch, build the right way, have weekly sessions with them to check how they're doing, set goals. When you bring down the goals, you must also set them to when Abu Naftaly said, when they come to a weekly goal and they say, and it really that I must do 100 PVs a week, and 100 PVs a week, am I going to be able to do that? Tell them what it means to do 100 PVs a week. This is what you need to be looking at buying and selling. If buying and using, or if you want your money back, you must buy and sell. Is that something you are prepared to do? And then you say an easier way of doing this is also ranking up. When you rank up, it means you've got people who are doing what you're doing. And that is the easiest way to do this business. So let's focus on what is easy, which is getting people into the business to do what you're doing. Okay. I think I've covered, I'm happy about where the Power Hour is going. We're looking forward to somebody else next week telling us what the Power Hour has done for them. So if you want to share your story with us, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Abu Naftaly, tell us what the Power Hour has done for you, and we are going to connect hopefully next week. Vivian will also come and talk to us about this, because she couldn't join us today. She really wanted to be here. Unfortunately, something came up and she couldn't join us. So thank you so much for joining. Is this adding value to somebody? Are you seeing that we are really trying to show that the business does not have to be complicated? If you've got a structure, it's going to work. It's going to work. So Carol, out of this, you are building your system. We call them systems. We all have different systems that we are using in our businesses. So you are busy building your system. And don't be scared to change it every now and then in its early stages until it is smooth. And when we're saying it's smooth, it's because you can plug anybody in and they know exactly what they need to do. And they know what to do because it is what you are doing. Okay. Abu Naftaly?
Yes, Maggie.
Do you want to close with something?
My last contribution to the prospect of Carol also, something she must just also bring up, so that the prospect knows that things are not going to be easy. There will be tough moments where they feel like throwing everything and just disappear. So you need to also to sensitize the prospect that there will be moments like that. And should they reach that moment, how must you treat them? Already get it from the beginning. Should you decide to keep quiet and you are no more responding, what must I do? Must I leave you and carry on with other people? Or what must I do, so that they tell you while they are happy that when I get that day, please treat me like this, leave me alone, and I will get back to you, so that you know where to get off when they are on that time when they don't want anything anymore. And however, you need to also tell them that there's a planting session. Maggie touched this on Sunday, very powerful. There's a time to plant and there's a time for harvest. And I take this like someone who's going to have a gym membership. If you take that membership and you don't go to the gym, it will not work. It will not work for you. So there are people that are having gym membership, but they are still not in good health in terms of what they wanted for fitness. So is that a gym membership alone is not working. You need to show up And you cannot go there just to drink Powerade, Maggie. You need to work out so that you can see the results of what you are doing. So in business, it's the same. You cannot be here and say, no, at least I have a membership, and you start asking, when am I going to get paid? So make that realistic to them, to say you will only get paid the day you start working in your business. Because if you work in your business, then you will know that, yeah, this week I'm expecting something will come out. But if you never planted, when we are reaping or harvesting, you stay away because you did not plant. That's all from my side, Maggie.
They'll be saying you are lucky. I just want to read some of the comments from Facebook. I see Pulani says, Bajwa's a while in honeymoon phase. So that's just talking to what Abu Naftaly was saying, to say that when they're still happy, speak about what should I do when you slow down, or yeah. So that's what she was just referring to there, and really is important. The power hour is a season of sowing. So you might not see results now,
yeah,
but there will be a powerful impact on you prospecting every single day, showing the business every single day, following up every single day, increasing your social media presence every day. We are planting seeds. And what we were saying, that what I said that day, I said the season of planting most of the time is not the season when we reap.
yes.
So come the end of the month, if you have not had a sign up, it's okay. You will find somebody in 6 weeks' time, in 6 months' time, saying, you reached out to me in July.
Yeah.
You planted that seed.
Yes.
And you continued with your online presence, and you were showing up. They were watching you show up. They were seeing that Carol has not disappeared. Every day she is there, or every week she's there. We've got the social media calendar, right? At some point, it says show your product. It says show something about your business. And you've been doing that.
You mentioned that you didn't like the logo, so I looked at.
That is you watering that seed that you planted, because they are watching you. And then 6 months later, they say, no, she's consistent, this one. I want to be part of that business. So let us use the power of Power Hour as planting. We are going to reap. Don't give up. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Carol, we are done. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you coming on and being on the hot seat and sharing your story with us. We look forward to you talking to us towards the end of the year, telling us about this distributor and how many more levels deep you have gone in just from that one follow-up that you did in July. Have a blessed evening, everybody. And if you want to, we really want you to come and talk to us about what the Power Hour is doing. We have got I think it's 1 more week, ne?
Yes.
Yeah. 1 more week. Well, it's probably going to be 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. The last one we close. Yeah, the last week we close it.
Then we'll close the topic on the Power Hour, and hopefully you'll have a solid foundation to have built that behavior, and that behavior of saying that this is how I'm going to be spending time in my business every single day. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a super blessed evening, and good night.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.